the EQ Video Tip. I'm your host, Eric Forsetter. As always, thank you again for watching another terrific show of the EQ Video Tip. Before we jump in, let's review the goals of EQ Video Tip. What's on tap for today? We're going to talk about Bill Gates and 5 things he wished he knew at graduation from college. Now, Bill never graduated from college. He dropped out of Harvard after 3 semesters to go start Microsoft. Obviously, very successful at that. But Ashton Jackson wrote an article about 5 things that Bill talked about in one of his commencement speeches that he gave recently for a university's graduation. And these things are things that graduates today and people who are just in the working world today should know, whether it's graduating from high school, jumping right into the working world, getting your master's degree, getting your graduate degree, your undergrad degree, whatever it might be. Let's jump in and see some of Bill's great tips. Tip number 1. Your life isn't a one-act play. What do we mean by that? Well, the career you have today may change. It may be something different than you think in the future. Bill thought he'd be at Microsoft for the entire career of his life. It's not. Just like many of us, we may have been working at one company for 5 years, 10 years, even 20 years, and then we change careers. We do different things. The way society is today, it's possible that you jump and do 20 different careers because technology changes the way we view our work and what we do with our work and what we can do in the future as well. You might start a company in your 20s, you could start one in your 60s. It's open to anything that's out there. So remember, your life isn't a one-act play. Instead, there's different pieces of it. There's different relationships, both in your personal life, your friend life, as well as your work life. Make sure you realize you have more acts to come. Tip number 2, you are never too smart to be confused. What does Bill mean by that? He dropped out of college. He thought he knew everything about the business world, how things are going, and how he could be successful. But the reality was he didn't know everything, just like we don't know everything. And you're never too smart to be confused, meaning there's times where you're going to have to answer a problem that you don't know the answer to, that you have to solve with some other person's help. And even though you think you can solve it, it's really challenging. So don't panic when that happens. Instead, take your time, ask for help, figure out what you need to do so you can help make yourself better, solve the problem, and unconfuse yourself as well. Tip number 3, gravitate towards work that helps solve a problem. Let's face it, there's so many problems in the world today, whether it's hunger or climate change or you name it. There are things that we can help out with. And when you gravitate to places that are advancing in science, technology, helping others, it actually energizes you. It helps your work out. It helps you understand meaning within life and gives you purpose. So gravitate towards jobs or work that will help you out. It might mean that you volunteer at a different place than your actual work, but make sure you're doing some type of work to help solve a big problem. Our next tip, don't underestimate the value and the power of friendships. What does Bill mean by that? Well, the people that you surround yourself with, the network that you do day in and day out, whether it's friends, coworkers, family, that's your support, that's your community, that's going to help you grow. And that's probably the power of your network that can help build a business, help build your career, and help you become the person you want to be. It's important to take time to spend it with family and friends outside of work as well, because those friendships will help you get through those stressful times and help you grow your career in the long run. So make sure that you're not underestimating the power of friendship. Our last tip, you're not a slacker if you cut yourself some slack. What do we mean by this? Well, Bill was a workaholic. He never took vacations. He would monitor the people who were taking vacations, and if you do that, you're going to burn out. It's important to realize that after working hard, you need time to blow off steam, to release from that stress, to refocus, recharge, reset yourself. And it's so important to celebrate your successes and recover from your losses. In doing so, you have to take it easy on yourself and on people who are taking breaks, to surround themselves with opportunities to recharge themselves. In doing so, you'll make yourself a better person and reduce the stress and the grind that you go through on a day-to-day basis. Make sure you're taking time to reset yourself and cut yourself some slack. That's a wrap for this week's EQ video tip. Hopefully these tips from Bill will help you in growing your career and learning something that you may or may not have known when you graduated. Again, use them to make your life the best it can be. So that concludes our EQ video tip for today. Try incorporating some of these tips into your daily routine. But remember, use what works best for you and personalize it for yourself. Thank you always to our great research team for providing us with some great tips today. As always on EQ Video Tip, we want to end with gratitude. So thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. Here are some resources that you can use if you want more information on EQ going forward. Thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Thank you.